as you've thought about how you assess your students throughout this unit, formatively, what sort of things have you really tried to infuse into the units this year?
A lot of performance-based style questioning or task, and moving more to some short answer, where they have to explain their thinking, not just a multiple-choice question where you're really not even sure why they chose that answer. That makes them have to explain more of that why and the how.
Give some examples.
Okay, this was a cause and effect match, which was part of the story structure. And in this example, the students have a cause and effect chart, and some of the pieces are missing. They're missing either the cause or the effect. For this assessment, they're provided with those missing pieces, and they have to plug them in where they go. So they match the cause and effect together, but they're provided that. Now, a little step above that.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but so one of the skills, your main objectives, is to help them understand story structure and the different aspects of it. So one of those is cause and effect.
Right.
So this was your way of sort of stopping and checking to see whether they understand it.
And these are actually examples from Charlotte's Web.
And you're not just doing a worksheet. These are Charlotte Web cause and effect examples.
Right.
So it's based on their listening and
their
discussing
and
listening comprehension of the story.
So then for some more of an independent, new information, they're given some short answer style, where they actually have to be the one to find the cause and effect. So here they're given basically a sentence that has the cause and effect, and they have to decide which one's the effect, what happened, which one's the cause, why did it happen. On this side, then it gets a little more difficult, where we have a passage, and they have to read the passage, and then they're going to actually have to come up from reading this what the cause and effect is.
So they've gone from doing it with you on something we've all read together, practicing on their own, and then writing in, you talked about short answer. So they have to determine, based on the text, the cause of Mom came in to tell us to go to bed.
Right. When before that was provided, they just had to match them. Now they actually have to create that on their own. They have to come up with which one it is based on what they read.
And just to cite our work, where did you get this from?
This one was from a website, havefunteaching.com.
Okay.
The Charlotte's Web were just created based on cause and effect examples from the text that I came up with.
That you came up with. So we see creating assessments that are more short answer based on the text you're reading in class. What about assessments for informational text that was connected to Charlotte's Web?
In the informational text part, we incorporated life cycles, since that goes along with the story. And one of the standards is informational text diagrams, using the diagrams to help you understand. So they started out with actually creating the diagram based on a book that we read together, an informational text about the life cycle of a frog. And so this was just a lily pad wheel, and they created the diagram, and they went through the steps from the tadpole to the adult frog, or the eggs, and they numbered them 1, 2, 3.
Where did they learn about this?
From the informational text. They took the information they learned from the text and created the diagram.
Was that from a science textbook or a science book that you have?
It's a nonfiction book.
Okay. So they're reading the book in small groups with you individually, and they're building this. And was there an assessment that went after this?
Yes. So they're creating the diagram here. Here they're using the diagram to show understanding of what they've read. So here they're answering questions about the diagram of the life cycle of the frog.
I see. So you've sort of got this activity for life cycle.
This kind of helps them to understand why diagrams are important. Why do we need them to help us understand nonfiction text?
Right.
And then here is moving towards actually comprehending the diagram.
And showing you, this is great, you can make this, but now can you demonstrate again, in a sort of not a performance task, but in a reading comprehension assessment, can you now make meaning from this?
Right.
So, and you're infusing, again, informational text with the Charlotte's Web.
Right.
And making connections.
Right.
Thank you. And I want to thank you for all the great work you've done in this unit, and also from being here. Your kids clearly have a great relationship with you, and they appreciate what you do, and your teachers as well. Before we leave, what I'm going to ask is that you take us on a little tour. You have second graders.
Yes.
And some of the structures you have in place in your classroom are very interesting. And what you do to help the students stay engaged, stay disciplined, and stay focused.